Welcome back to another podcast. I'm your host, Roy, aka Guava Juice, and I'm here with Leonardo on the moderator seat. And we're going to talk about a subject that a lot of people think about, but they try to avoid because it's like if you focus on it too long, it might, hinder you from attaining what you want to attain. And that subject is haters. Haters/negativity. Okay, there are a lot of them out there, yeah?
Yeah.
There are a lot of haters, but hey, you can't have love without hate. It's like a yin and yang, Like you can't have a cheeseburger without a vegan burger. There's always like the opposite kind of thing. So go for it, Leonardo. Hit me with those tough questions.
So I guess the first question, just to lay a foundation, you kind of spoke on it.
Yeah,
to some degree. Why is this topic even important?
It's important because it doesn't have to be YouTube. Like in life, for example, like haters can kind of hinder you from achieving what you want to achieve. Like in school, like for example, there's a bully constantly making fun of you. It really just affects you mentally, and then it kind of gets your mind to a point where like, hey, maybe the hater was actually right, and you start to believe things that you shouldn't believe, when in reality you should just appreciate yourself and not worry about what other people say about you, because if they say something about you, that's probably something that they're dealing with internally, and they're just lashing out to people. At least bullies. This is for bullies, at least. Like there are a lot of, at least from my experiences, like 14 years on YouTube, there are different tiers of like haters. Okay, so this is what I grasp. There are 3 types of haters.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, shout out to Our Fire. This is their shirt. I figured it was appropriate. Go get their merch. Our Fire. Love you guys. Okay, so the first tier is tier 3. Okay, haters type 3, I guess you could say. These haters hate the creation. They only hate the work of the artist. They only hate the book. They only hate the movie. They only hate the video. And this is like your the hater you want to like kind of listen to, because they're not like filled with negativity. Because people focus on negativity because it's so easy to do. Like people don't focus on positivity because it's so hard to do, and people don't want to do the extra effort to be positive. So a lot of people love negativity. They love all the drama. They love all the tea, the heat. You know what I'm saying? So type 3 haters are just the haters that hate the work, the content, which is fine. Like, sometimes you got to listen to those haters because they can actually give you good criticism on things. And, as a creator, as an artist, you got to like recognize these haters sometimes. Like, of course, you're going to have haters here and there, which is fine. But like, you got to recognize like sometimes they're not actually hating you. They're just hating the work. You know what I'm saying? So if you deny that, criticism, you deny that hate of the work, then you must be like really weak to, acknowledge that as is. So those are type 3 haters. They're the least worst. They're just there to help you out. But sometimes there are people that like actually absolutely hate the work, and then, they're just bashing on it. Don't listen to that. Listen to like the criticism. That's always positive. There's type 2 haters. Okay. Type 2 haters are the haters that hate the person, that the creator, the author, the artist, whatever reason that is, I don't know. It's kind of like, it's really on them. Like, it's kind of like bullies. Like, they just hate you because, maybe they don't like the way you smile, or the way you you look, or your skin tone, or whatever. Those are haters. I don't know. For what I've experienced, like, they just need someone to lash out on, because, it's like I said, negativity is so easy to accomplish. And, if that is their means of accomplishing things, then, let them be. They're just there to do their thing. And remember, just like I said earlier, like there is no hate without love. So, there's going to be people that praise you, but there's also going to be people that will absolutely not like you, which is fine. Like, that's just the balance of the world, believe it or not. It is what it is. You just got to come to understanding that is how the world works. Love and hate, vegan cheeseburger, cheeseburger. It's like, ba, yin yang, ding dang, ping pong.
Which one is the love and which one is the hate in that example?
Obviously, the not vegan. But it's interchangeable. Okay, maybe that wasn't a good example.
What else
Okay.
funny?
Type 1 haters, these are the worst. They absolutely hate the creator and the creation. So, why hate one when you can hate both? And whatever reason that is, I have no idea. I don't know. These people, I feel like you must be in a really weird spot in life, pretty low in life, to actually, hate the person and hate the creation. I hate J.K. Rowling, and I also hate Harry Potter. Harry Potter sucks. I hate the way it's made, but I also hate J.K. Rowling because she's ugly, or she's not really a good writer or whatever. I mean, there's I feel like there's a better way to provide hate. Feel like the best way to hate things is through criticism, especially positive criticism. Hey, this is what's wrong with it. But here's my advice to help it better, especially YouTubers. We're all people out there just lashing out on each other, just causing drama when we should actually be uplifting each other. We're all in this YouTube world as is, and we're trying to fight for being successful or whatever. But it's a pattern, as you can see. The world is crazy. When we should be loving each other and helping each other, we're not. Same with YouTube. When we should be loving each other and helping each other, we're not. Well, why? What's the balance? This is a weird balance, right? It's just a constant pattern on things. So, yeah, type 1 haters. I mean, obviously, there are certain cases like I hate Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man. It's the worst. Versus I hate Ted Bundy. Those are two different kinds. Robert Downey Jr., he's a good guy, I think. He seems like a good guy. I listened to him on the Joe Rogan's podcast. But then there's Ted Bundy. He killed a lot of people. That's a good reason to hate someone, because he manifested all this evil, and that's a perfectly great reason to spread that awareness and that hatred towards someone so maleficent, as you could say, compared to Robert Downey Jr. If you're just hating the person and the work for no reason, it's I don't know. I just don't get it sometimes, What are your thoughts?
There's a lot of thoughts. Yeah, you shared a lot. That was really cool.
Thanks.
I think one of the first things is we were talking about Kate on YouTube. A lot of people give this example, what gets attention when we're driving on the freeway?
What gets attention?
What gets
billboards and signs and bad drivers?
Yeah, what slows us down?
What slows us down? Traffic.
Yeah, most of the traffic is caused by
an accident.
So so usually what gets attention is pain or just negativity in general. There's actually this example when Time Magazine, I think in the 50s or 60s, they changed their titles from a little more positive and things like that to more of sensationalism, where it's this person died or whatever it may be. Then the sales went up for those magazines. So it's the same thing for YouTube. It's, for ad revenue to come, they have to get clicks, they have to get attention. And so that's where the haters. So to some degree, haters are rewarded in entertainment.
Yeah. Which is sad. Unfortunate. I mean, like I said, I really do think it stems from negativity is easy to accomplish and also easy to digest. Just because, I don't know, I guess psychologically, we should get a scientist in here. Psychologically, I feel our brain is more inclined to ingest all the negativity in the world, whether it's in news outlets or newspapers, the news, whatever. We're more drawn to these things rather than hey, Bill Gates just donated $1 billion to help water. People don't care about that. They rather care about hey, Bill Gates said this word and he is I don't think he did say anything, but I'm just saying people would focus on that rather than the good stuff. I was listening to H3's Papa John podcast, and the reason why he left Papa John is it's not because it's a conspiracy, but it's a long story. Long story short, he said something that he didn't say completely, but they took it out of context and they really focused on that. The news outlets, the media focused on that, which caused him to leave Papa John's rather than all the good things he's done.
Yeah, it's once again, it's when you have attention.
Yep.
There's no advertisements when you don't have attention, right? And
yep,
so
perfect.
You reminded me. There's this thing I learned about like evolutionary biology.
Yeah.
So there's this thing in our brains called the negative bias, and like what you were saying, like why are we drawn to negativity? It's because actually during prehistoric times, that's what actually prevented us from getting like eaten by like velociraptors and stuff like that. So that's why we always look for the negative, because actually that saves us from pain.
Wait, so what is the negative to not get eaten by a
so nowadays we don't have dinosaurs or whatever, whatever you believe was back in those days, but nowadays it's just we still have that primitive mind where we're looking for negativity because to protect us. It's a like protective mechanism.
So understand what is negative and how to avoid it, kind of thing. Like, is that what you're saying? You're a scientist, aren't you?
No.
Okay.
I'm a nerd. I love learning. What's crazy is before you even talked about the 3 types of haters, I was going to ask you what are the types of haters, because like what's the definition of a hater to begin with?
Okay, that's a great question. A hater. That's a really good question. I never thought of that. I guess someone who uses words and actions to either criticize or bring down others to, their level emotionally or mentally. Maybe that's my definition. There's a lot. It's like, what's the meaning of success? There's so many like definitions.
Yeah, it's your definition. I was just like, what your definition is a good thing to clarify, because people are watching to hear your thoughts for sure.
Well, what's your definition?
Of a hater? That's a good question.
That's
I did not expect you to bring it back.
Hey, I can ask questions too, Leonardo. Like I can also be a moderator. So what's your definition of a hater?
So
curious.
I think a good way to understand other people who hate is understand when we hate, because like we're all haters at certain times. So like I almost said a bad example, but let's just say like learning how to just accept people's differences is just a healthy thing, and I think that's a journey throughout life. And like, so what's the opposite of hating is understanding and acceptance.
That's definitely true,
right? So it's like, but what you said about acknowledging the difference between hating the creator versus the creation, I think that's really deep, because if people are just hating on your video, but they think you're a great YouTuber, maybe that's something that's healthy to listen to. Like,
for sure.
Maybe that's not a video we should be creating.
Yeah, those are the videos I love, because I kind of like, hey, okay, good points here, good points, cool. So it's like, it's like school to me. Like, you turn in a paper, your teacher will give you some criticism, like, hey, fix this and that. It's like you gotta put your mindset into that, but also acknowledging when those comments come around, like those videos come around, like criticizing your work. Like, I actually like it. I appreciate it. Like, thanks, guys. And that's what we should be doing, as creators, as like artists, like, be harsh, but then in a good way, just to help others, be the best version of them as they could be, rather than like, hey, I hate you and I hate this, I hate your creation, I hate this. Like, that's just like, you must be really, like I said, like in a really, really low spot, like in a weak place in life, to actually like condone that like thought.
Yeah. Like, if someone doesn't like your video because they don't like your face, that's not something to listen.
I was watching this video like probably a couple months ago. This guy was like, okay, this is a guava juice. It sucks. I hate the taste. You know what also sucks? Guava juice. This is a guava fruit. It sucks. Okay, you know what sucks? Guava juice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, his guava juice is also named Roy Fabito. Wow. I don't like that name either. Wow, you already know I'm gonna hate this guy because I don't like the name. Like, I don't have that control. Like, my parents named me that, and then if you like actually go too far to actually hate what I was like legally named, like, I don't know, maybe it was like when he filmed it at the time, his mind wasn't in a good spot, but I'm just here to just be positive and just do my best to make others happy. So hey, if you're watching, please hit me up. I would love to. I don't like getting hate, but I would like helping others out too, because this is like the whole point of the podcast, just trying to help people. I mean, obviously a lot of people won't agree with like everything I say, but I hopefully I can inspire at least someone to look in a positive light and be inspired and like creative Because I got to where I am now for a reason, and like, you know, might as well like share it to other people and like how I got here. You know what else has hate? The trending page. I hate the trending page. Like I actually like emailed my YouTube manager and like tweeted like YouTube like, hey, can you please ban me from this page? Because it's just filled with like negativity. Like your content is exposed to various numbers of people, and sometimes people don't understand it, and rather than, you know, criticizing it, you're just like straight up hating on it, which is fine. That's just like how it goes sometimes. But YouTube was like, no, we have no control. You can email creator support or whatever, but I'm just like, okay. So I kind of just, you know, agreed to accept it. Like if my video's on trending, it's gonna gain hate, but at the same time, it's gonna cater to people who actually like it, and that's the only thing that should matter. Like if people enjoy it and it makes them laugh throughout their day, then those people are the ones that matter, not the comments. You know.
You know what I just thought about when you were talking about the trending pages? That
yeah.
Maybe it's people hate more on those videos because they know people are going to see those videos because it's on the trending page. It's like equivalent to like,
okay.
Let's a video on the trending page is like equivalent to an advertisement on a billboard in the freeway. When people do graffiti and they put their name on it, they know it's going to be seen. So same thing with like your videos on trending.
You think it's graffiti?
It's like, to some degree, right?
Yeah, it's like they're so used to like a specific format. I guess what they expect, and then when a video doesn't meet that expectation, then that's when they kind of like figure out like, hey, this is not my routine. This is a parasite. That's a good movie, by the way. Watch Parasite. It's a parasite. This is an infection. We should do our best to get rid of it or whatever. But in reality, I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but I know what you're saying. Graffiti. Yeah.
What's your advice on how to handle each of those three types of haters?
Well, one, don't be discouraged, you know, especially if you're starting off and you're getting hate for the first time. I mean, don't think of it as a bad thing. It's more like you can't have success without hate. So if you have some haters, then you're probably on your path to success. Okay. But also acknowledge like when it's actually hate and when it's actually like criticism too. Like maybe there's a difference between like, hey, this is trash versus, hey, you should not scream more. You know what I'm saying? Like those are two different types of comments. Just like acknowledge and like understand when you see those, and then when to apply it rather than, you know, when to not apply it. Because sometimes comments are helpful, like hateful comments are helpful, and you gotta understand that. And all the other comments, just ignore it. They're just there just to do their thing. Like I said, negativity is one of the easiest thing to do. I
think this has been like revolving around my head, like just in this episode alone. Yep. What do you think of this? Maybe there's two forms of you kind of like spoke about it. There's two forms of hate. Yeah. Discrimination, which is the one where it's like about someone's identity. Yeah. And then it's what you were saying, constructive criticism. Yeah. So do you feel like all hate would be in one of those two camps? Or is there is another camp? There's all hate. No. I mean, it's the criticism part. It's not really necessarily hate. It's like good. Yeah. Good hate. But it's not really. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like it's not hate, but it's like positive hatred to help you feel better rather than the negative hate. Constructive criticism is always. But I don't know. I wouldn't. That's a good point. Like I wouldn't put constructive criticism. I guess it's the way. It's like how you say it. You know. It's like it's not what you say. It's how you say it.
It's how you say it that kind of like invokes. Because there's also a positive criticism and like positive hateful criticism. That's two different things, right?
Yeah. I mean, can you share an example you're thinking of?
Yeah, it's like, hey, you should, for example, like, hey, you should not chew with your mouth open, and this time it's disgusting. I'm like, okay, you're probably right. That's probably not, appealing to a lot of people. Versus like, hey, I don't know. I really don't know. It's like, rather than like, stop doing videos
because you're short.
No, it's like stop doing videos because you're unfunny and people don't like this content, it's trash. Like, I don't know. Like, those are very triggering to me. And I mean, you should do your best not to like focus your attention on it, because you, believe it or not, you yourself, you're a positive person, and if one thing affects that positivity, your mind's gonna shift.
I think what relates to haters is just the habit of not taking things personal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you really shouldn't, because if you take it personally, it's gonna affect you mentally. It's gonna give you like make you anxiety, like very anxious. Believe it or not, yeah. I mean, I took it personal sometimes, and you really shouldn't, because you know you are in charge of your faith and your energy. And if you want that negative energy to interfere with your energy, then that's on you. And it's your job to do your best not to let that affect you. So I wouldn't take it personally. You know, people, that's their job. Haters' job is to bring other people to their level. Like, haters are like right here. And let's say they see someone like, you know, doing their thing, being successful, like up here. They're going to do their best to, you know, bring you down to that level. That's how I see it, you know. They're at a specific, I guess, point, and then they want to bring you down to that point with them, and they're going to do their best. So it's like, yeah, it's just the reality of the world, you know. There's love, there's hate, but what can you do? You just do your best to be positive. At least I tried to.
So what defines a hater is the intention behind the hate? Is that,
yeah.
in other words, what you're
I guess so, yeah. And the intention behind the hate. I mean, like I said, there are different tiers. There's probably sub-tiers within those tiers, to be honest. We can probably get to that in another podcast. But that's what I've, you know, I guess developed throughout all these years of YouTube. Like, that's a lot of hate through like 14 years. And yeah, and that's all I got for that, dude. That's really it. Haters, you know, I love you haters. I mean, it's all love. I mean, even though if it's hate, if they hate you, you know, who cares? It's just, you know, thank you. Thanks for making me successful. I guess, I don't know.
Because they're still watching, and
yeah, they're still watching. So it's like, you know, I don't get it sometimes, but I think the main point is like, you gotta understand like what kind of hate they're putting out. If it's good hate, then, you know, listen. If not, then like, hey, you know, don't listen, don't take it personal. They're only doing that just to bring you down.
And I think another thing to acknowledge is that, like what you said, like usually they're in a bad place. And so like acknowledging that when someone hates, it's usually an opportunity to love on someone else. Like when I was teaching, I think the stat is like over 80% of bullies are being abused at home.
Oh dear.
So when I had bullies in my classroom, I would recognize that like I already know that like one of their parents are like verbally or emotionally abusing them. Oh. So like rather than embarrassing them even more in front of the whole class, I would like talk to them like on the side. So I guess on YouTube you could do that with someone's hating comments. Like, you know what's funny? Have you ever like wrote a really positive comment to someone who's hating?
No.
They don't know what to do. They really don't.
Really?
Yeah, you're like, oh.
What did you say to trigger that?
As far as like comments goes?
Yeah. Just someone was like, hey, you're trash. And you're like, great, I recycle. Like,
hey, that's
like
funny.
That?
Yo, that's a good way to like to reformat it to comedy. I think that's a really cool way. There's a term for that when you change it. When you change
their expectations.
Yeah.
Of your response.
Yeah, because it kind of snaps them out of it. It's like it snaps them out of that emotional headspace.
Yeah, it's like when you go in a fist fight and and then rather than fighting, you just take off all your clothes. They don't. What are they gonna do?
That's true.
Yeah, it's like that's probably how they see you know, your positive comments to their hateful comments.
Yeah. Remember the story of you want to share the story of like when your car was about to get is it time?
Not yet. Okay. We have these cameras. They like cut off every 30 minutes. So we got to invest in like cameras that last longer than that. Hey, people in the comments, if you know any good podcast cameras, let me know in the comments down below. We were somewhere downtown Los Angeles. I had my car, and then I told Leonardo to move it because I didn't think it was a safe parking spot for the car. And then he walked back to the car, and he saw like 3 people trying to like open the car, like, you know, they had like tools to like break in. And then what'd you say?
It's like, hey guys, that's my friend's car. And I was just smiling. And I think if I wasn't a very aggressive, right?
Yeah.
If I was aggressive, I probably would have fought. I've never fought in my life. I usually I'm good with words.
Okay.
So I'm able to like, calm people down.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like if I was aggressive to them, I probably would have fought 3 guys and I don't know what would have happened there.
Bruh.
And you don't know if they have weapons. You know what I mean?
They probably do.
Yeah, they probably, most likely. But because I came in, I like disarmed them. They're like, oh, okay. And they literally just slowly walked away. That's it.
Rather than saying, hey, get out of there.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
hi, guys. That's my friend's car. I mean, if you throw people off, that's a good way, honestly, if they would have fought you, just take off all your clothes. But I promise you, they would have sprinted as far as possible, possibly get hit by a car because they weren't paying attention, because it throws them off.
That's true.
But yeah, a good point. Just bringing it back to the subject. If you see a hate comment right there, and if you feel obliged to comment back, don't feed them with like more anger. Just like throw them off, I guess, with like love.
Yeah. If you're strong enough, so just recognizing your energy and your emotional point, and if you're strong enough not to feed into the negativity and actually show kindness and love, you can. You really can. It's like when a waiter or waitress in a restaurant is having a really bad day and they're just like really crabby for you for no reason.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity to like flip them if you're strong enough.
Yep.
But if not, then
you'll just
don't tip them. I mean,
don't do that. I mean, just if you notice someone's having a bad day and then they take it out on you, don't take it personally. Oh, hello. Who's calling me? Hello. Hello.
Hey, this is Officer Catherine Richardson, batch number FBI.
Okay, never mind. It's you get spam calls sometimes. It's kind of weird. I hate spam calls because they would have numbers very similar to yours, and you probably would think it's like a family member or some random person, but it's like, hello, I am Catherine, and I am going to sell you some security. The IRS is under you, and you will get sued if you don't pay us $100,000. Like, it's like,
you'd be a great voice actor. Like,
what do you think I did? I made that.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Hey, welcome back from the break. I hope you enjoyed our sponsors. No one. Hey, if any sponsors out there, feel free. I'm open. But in the meantime, if people watching, go shop our merch. Go to guavajuice.com. It's the only way to support the podcast. It helps us afford a new table, because obviously this table, it looks real, but it's actually just stickers, and it's not real wood. It's plastic. And every time we move and hit the table with our knee, it makes this noise. So please, guavajuice.com, help us find a new table. IKEA, it doesn't matter. We just need like $100. Okay. Anyways, back to the topic of haters.
I think another topic about haters is just recognizing that they're not just on YouTube. They're just in different realms of life. So can you share how haters could come in different forms?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, there's bully form, and maybe there's a family member that doesn't like you, I guess, like comes in your family. Even Earth has haters, like asteroids, I guess. It's only there to demolish and destroy Earth. But Earth is full of positivity, and it uses its gravity to repel. So it comes in many forms. I guess an example, in high school, I had this guy constantly... this is when I first started making videos for fun. I guess he found it on MySpace, and then... Wow, I'm old. MySpace, Zanga, and then... I guess he made videos too, but it wasn't that popular. People didn't watch it. So he just hated on me for making these videos. I remember one time I was at church, and then, when you're late for church, you just stand in the back sometimes. And he was in the back too. He came up to me and was like, "You want to step outside?" I'm like, wait, what did I do? Wait, what? He started pushing me in my chest. I'm like, whoa. I was like 16. We probably both were like 16. So I pushed him back, and then like this adult just came and like pulled the guy from his chest, like, "Don't do that, we're at church." And then kicked him out. Yeah. So it's like, dude, like actions like that really derive from insecurities, jealousy. Jealousy is a good manifestation of what will be hate, jealousy can bring your mind into really dark places. Your mind really makes stories that aren't real. And I don't know, just do your best not to get jealous, whether if it's other people's success in a relationship, because you can't have jealousy without facts. I feel like if you're jealous about something, did that make sense? I feel like
I was listening.
I was like,
facts.
Like you
assumptions.
Assumptions. Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
You can't assume something without getting the facts, and assumption can lead to jealousy, which can lead to hatred. So, yeah, we could probably touch on that subject on another podcast. But in the meantime, guavajuice.com. Help us buy a new table. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Like, what in your life, where did you see this form of hatred, rather other than like haters on YouTube, bullies? Is there like a case in your life where you're like, oh, this is straight up hate, and I don't vibe with this?
I think it relates back to jealousy too. So there was a time when I was filming like an average of like 7 weddings a week.
Yeah.
And I was building this company, and there's one person, I'm not gonna dishonor by saying who the person was, but it came out of nowhere, and I got this like,
what?
This person, I won't even say who this person is, but this person sent me a message.
Oh.
And the message was you suck at videography and all this other stuff. And I was like thinking to myself, like, I could easily just like, because I have one thing about being an observer, I have a lot of ammunition if I wanted to be like evil. I could literally
I'm out of here. No, with that face, you're scaring me.
I could destroy people. Like with your words, you could uplift people or you could destroy people. And I had an opportunity right there to destroy this person, and instead I, to some degree, kind of just ghosted. Like I just pretended nothing happened, and other people were like, "Why don't you say something back to this person?" And I'm like, first of all, none of those are all subjective. Like, I know I'm good. I might not be the best, but I'm working on it.
That's good. That's a good mindset. If you think you're good at your craft, then hey, that's the only thing that should matter,
And I think it was stemming from this person was going through family problems at this time. There was like a lot of like things with this person's parents. And, and I was just aware of that. And so like in those opportunities, you could just give people like grace or whatever word you want to use for that kindness. And to this point, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't retaliate, because I probably could have made this person even more hateful.
Oh god.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in those Disney movies, you have an opportunity to make some bad people like turn around. Yeah. So you never know.
That's true. Well, that's good of you for recognizing like, hey, this shouldn't be, a thing that I should even spread more negativity on, like understanding like where that root of that hatred or that jealousy might have came from. So I think that's another thing a lot of people kind of don't think about. Like if they're thrown with hatred, they kind of just hate that person for being hateful, when they should take a little more effort, which is hard. It's like, why take that extra effort to understand why this person is hateful? But it does help a lot. Like you said with the waiter example, like why is this waiter like being a bad waiter to me? Maybe they're just taking it out on you because they had a bad day. So it's like understanding, like putting yourself in other people's shoes, why they're acting the way they're acting now. It helps a lot, but it requires a little bit more effort, and you have to, I guess, really be in a good place in your mind yourself to actually take that extra effort to, forgive them and like accept them. Like, okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna let that energy affect my energy. I'm just gonna just smile, and hopefully this smile will affect their energy in a positive way.
Nice. Have you heard the quote when you're speaking? This quote was like, I just, I see things in my head, like over people's head when they're talking sometimes. Have you ever done that?
Like you're
like subtitles?
Like what?
Yeah.
It's like a video game. You like see your health bar.
That's why I'm good with people's names. Because I see people's names over their head sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, anyways.
That's
so
cool.
I saw the quote.
That's dope.
Have you heard of that quote? Hurt people, hurt people.
Hurt people, hurt people. No, I have not.
Like, so, when you're hurting, that's when you hurt people.
Oh, shoot. I got it. That my mind blown. So people that are hurt people.
Yeah.
So what's the opposite of that?
No, loving people, love people. I don't know.
So I guess we strive to be that other spectrum. Loving people, love people. Dang. Dang, that is hurt people. Hurt people.
Yeah.
Dang, that's so sad.
So when people hurt you, just recognize that they're hurting themselves, and sometimes it's not even about you. It's just because they're just, I heard the metaphor of like
Whoa.
a garbage truck.
Yeah.
So like people just dump their stuff on you, and it's not because of you. It's just, you just happen to live where they're dumping.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, if they find a good, like a suspect, candidate, if they find a good candidate where they can dump things on you, then, you know, that's what, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. So people listening, watching this, if people hurt you, they're actually hurting. So don't take it personally. Maybe a way to help them through that hurt is to, it always comes to understanding people. Yeah. It really comes to like understanding the root of why they're doing things they do, and then figuring out how to help them in a way. So, yeah, it's really, dude. Yeah, after talking about this and like talking for like an hour or whatever, figure out why people are they are before, you know, actually assuming and, I don't know, hating them and being mean. I don't know. This is a deep topic, but
yeah,
it really makes sense though. It's like, you really got to understand. I think first, understand who you are first. I think that helps a lot. Like, understand like, hey, I am this person and these are my intentions. They may be good, they may be bad, but then once you figure out that, you understand yourself, and then figuring out how you love yourself as a person, then that's when you can actually help others. And that alone is already pretty hard. Man, all these like topics we're talking about, we can probably talk about in another podcast, but loving yourself, it took me a while, to be honest, and accepting like I will never be perfect, I'm always imperfect, but that's perfectly imperfect of me to be imperfect. And it's like, okay, I'm satisfied. Now what can I do to, you know, increase my happiness, increase, you know, my growth as a person? How can I help others with what I've learned? So that's why we're doing this podcast. So I'm really just trying to help others see things in a new light and hopefully inspire future entrepreneurs, YouTubers, artists, creators, teachers, whatever you want to be, through the mindset I've learned and acquired in 14 years of working on YouTube.
14.
Bruh, that's like a child. Yeah, no.
That's a teenager.
That's a teenager. Oh my gosh. If I had a YouTube baby, it would be making TikToks right now or something. I don't know. Well, yeah, that's all I got, dude. I think that's a good point. So I guess we can end it, summarize it. So in summary, like, hey, they're haters. I mean, I categorized them in 3 different types, and they're all, you know, it's not bad. Type 1, you know, they hate you and the creation. I'm like, dude, that's fine. And there's type 2, they hate the creator, the artist, the worker, and that's like in a more personal level. I don't know why. And there's type 3, they just hate the work. But there's, you know, good criticism, and they actually don't even formulate good thoughts and meanings behind why they hate the work. There's like 2 things, but yeah, understand people more. Somehow it's a lot of effort, but that's a good quote. I'm gonna say it again. Hurt people, hurt people. You know, understand that sometimes, and sometimes you don't take it personally. Sometimes like a simple smile can help them out, like a waiter, like, here's your food. You're like, what are they gonna do?
Like, what's wrong with you?
And last but not least, if you get in a fist fight, take off all your clothes. They don't know what to do, I promise. So, any last words?
That was great. That was a great summary.
Thanks.
I felt really satisfied with hearing like there's actually like really good points throughout this.
I mean, obviously they're not probably correct, but that's just like my thoughts, and I hope they help out some people out there, you know. Make sure to subscribe. We'll be posting podcasts every week. And, yeah. Okay, all the bullies out there and all the haters out there, we're going to eat you like toast.